wasn't going to put out a video this week, but do you know what? After reading all your comments on the last video, I was quite compelled to make a video this week. I just want to say thank you everyone so much for your kind words, your support, knowing that other people out there have gone through the same thing or know people that have gone through the same thing or similar things as me, and I just felt kind of invigorated to make a video this week. And do you know what, it's been really fun. It's been really fun. I've not felt pressured. I've not felt I have to film things in a certain way. It's been very relaxed and I've really enjoyed it. I know there's several of you who watch us religiously, and you know, the channel members, thank you so much for watching all the behind the scenes things that the family gets up to. But yeah, floods of support. It was quite emotional, really. I will say, I'm sorry if I haven't messaged you back personally. It's extremely busy at the moment up here. But I felt like putting this at the start of a video, you know, addressing you guys personally, myself, rather than just typing something on the keyboard, it's probably a bit nicer. I will try and get back to all your comments. Tilly does an amazing job as well of answering comments on the channel. I generally have so much going on that I'm finding it quite difficult, and I want to reply to more comments, because I have done up until recently, until obviously I've had some issues with my bipolar disorder that I've had to battle through. So thank you everyone who commented on the last video, and even I guess there's some of you out there who still watch us, but you know, you don't leave comments or whatever. That's fine, don't worry. You know, it's just nice to know that we're connecting with people and maybe inspiring people from what I've seen from certain comments. In this week's episode, I've really taken a more laid back approach to filming and what's going on. So maybe, I don't know, you'll see me be a bit more of myself, not my screen persona. If I have one, I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I think you point a camera at me and I won't shut up a lot of the time. So there's that. I expect by the time this video has come out on Friday, it's predicted that it could be 31 degrees in the UK, which is extremely hot. For us, it is very hot. You guys in the States or wherever are probably going, oh, you Brits. But for us, that's very hot. So it's going to be interesting to see what unfolds at the allotment and how much things grow, or perhaps even die, because that heat's, yeah. I hope things don't go to flower too early, certain things. We'll see what happens there. Anyway, this whole video has been recorded over the course of 2 days. I'm actually filming the intro at the end of everything that's being filmed for this video, but I hope you guys enjoy the episode this week. I was toying with the idea of putting out a video every 2 weeks, and perhaps, you know, when I feel like it, but I like making videos and I love the allotment. So before I roll you back to yesterday when we started filming, I just want to say thank you once more, one last time. I'll stop saying thank you for all of your comments, all of your support, all of your well-wishing, you know, connections, things like that, you know, that link a community of gardeners and people suffering from mental health issues, genuine mental health issues. You know, gardening is an amazing thing and it helps so many people with mental health issues. And for me, yeah, it's a wonderful experience, staying busy and nurturing, watching things grow, things with your hands. There's nothing better than getting muddy hands, is there, to show that you've done something with the soil. Anyway, without further ado, let's roll back to yesterday and see what's going on up at the plot. Right, come here, you. There we go, that's better. Right, so guys, it's the 7th of July today. It's Monday, And up at the allotment it is rather windy, although it's quite sunny today. I think it's only about 21 degrees, but I've got some jobs to do and things to show you. And yeah, we're going back to the old vloggy style, so I hope you guys enjoy the old vloggy style. Anyway, I'm coming over here to this plot where, if I spin around, if you remember, we had the garlic here. So all the garlic that got allium leaf miner, and we had to pull up, but you know, we saved some of it. It's not all bad. So I've been digging holes. Why? Because I've decided that I now identify as a dog, or because I'm doing some gardening? The latter, yes. So we are going to be planting in some fart makers today. Fart makers, yes, cabbage. So I've got Savoy cabbage, which I started from seed in the polytunnel over there. I love the polytunnel. It's so good for so many different reasons and so many different things. So we're going to get the cabbage in here because, you know, as we've said before, we don't like ground going to waste, especially when you're paying rent to have an allotment. So what I've done is I've spaced the holes here, so they're about 20 inches apart, and we're going to get those cabbage in the ground today. So let's go and have a look at them. Into the paddock, and here are the cabbages, the Savoy. So yeah, these are definitely ready to go in the ground today. So fun fact, I was saying about cabbages being fart makers. You know, it's a well-known fact that cabbages give you wind, and apparently it's because they're high in fibre and they contain a sugar called raffinose, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which is quite hard to digest, and this is what causes flatulence. Yeah, so you learn something new every day. So yeah, these cabbages are ready to go in. So the holes are dug. I think they've been watered. Yeah, the soil's quite moist, but let's get them in the ground. Right, so I haven't put them in straight away. I put in the canes of the jars so we can get the netting on as quickly as possible when the plants are in the ground, because there's lots of cabbage whites flying around today on the breeze, and I don't want them getting in the cabbages. It's bad enough with aphids and black fly this year. So I thought, well, let's get the poles in, and then that way we can just net them really quickly as soon as they're in the ground. Yeah, I think next year, just literally saw one. I think next year we are going to invest in proper, like you know, those plumbing hoops and the scaffold net. I think we're going to invest in that and do brassicas properly, because this year, I mean, as you can see from the kale and the sprouts, you know, we've just used like the jam jar method, which a lot of the old timers up here do. That's where I got the idea from. But I think next year we are definitely going to invest in doing it properly. There's another cabbage whites, the new enemy. Right, now I'm going to get the cabbage in the ground. Is it safe? Right, give me a bit of water. I suppose I've got to show one going in, being planted, haven't I really? I've done 4 already. These are so brittle. I have snapped one of the plants, so I've had to get rid of that one already. They're just so brittle, so I'm having to be really extra careful. So I bottom watered, and I'll give them water again in a second, but I've added some Epsom salts just to give them a little bit of a boost, because they've not actually been fed yet at all, these plants. And I'm just gonna pat him in like that, and I'll water it again afterwards. And what I'm going to do as well, God, they're so brittle, I'm going to just put like a little bit of a ridge, because we found by doing this recently with all our plants, because our allotment slopes, when you water, the water hits the barrier and it will stay in the plant. It doesn't just all go down the hill. So we've been doing this quite a lot. This ground, as I mentioned, had our garlic in it recently until it got cursed by the allium leaf miner. So I've given it a quick refresh recently with some 6X. I think it's like a chicken-based feed or chicken-based manure. You only need like a few handfuls and you just rake it in. Job done. Right, so that one's in. And then we'll just give them a bit of water. And then There we go. See, it doesn't go over the ridge. Perfection. And then I've got 2 more to put in, so let's get those done. Yay, the cavalry has arrived.
Hi.
So how was your day?
Busy.
Been hot in work in the kitchen. Yeah.
Very.
But it's perfect timing because you can help me do the nets for the cabbages, so they're all in. But I wanted to show you something.
Well.
So Mum, Tilly, came up here and said something's eaten one of your melons.
No.
Yeah, come here.
Oh.
So
Oh!
yeah. Look at that.
Oh, it's drilled right into it.
So I think it's a slug. Because can you see there's a slime trail?
Yeah.
Or it's either some sort of insect or beetle or something has made the initial hole and then a slug has gone in and...
Are my other melons alright?
The other melons are fine.
Look. I can't wait to taste them.
I don't think it'll be long because they're starting to develop their cracks on the skin. Yeah, I mean, the other ones are okay. It's just that one, the sugar baby, and that's the only sugar baby that we've got, isn't it?
Oh look, we've got another melon. Got another one coming.
What, a sugar baby or a normal?
No, like the, what's these ones called again?
Malaga.
We've got another Malaga there. Do you know what, I'm just so impressed. Because like last time we only got like, did we get 2 and then 1 didn't make it? Yeah.
We only had 1 and we left it a little bit too long before we picked it because we were on holiday. Do you reckon we should just leave it?
I'd leave it because it could be a decoy.
Yeah, decoy.
Well, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I'd rather they didn't go for those ones.
Yeah, let's leave it. And I mean, it hasn't drilled in that far, so we might be lucky and it might still ripen. It might be okay.
You could cut it out, couldn't you, I suppose?
Yeah, worst case.
As long as you don't go and find a load of piggies in there.
Yeah, right, yeah. Oh, we call woodlice piggies, right? But yeah, we'll leave it, and then if it ripens, it ripens. If it rots, we'll remove it. I mean, I've just chucked in a load of slug pellets everywhere just to be safe.
Yeah, oh well, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, but quite honestly, yeah, I mean, these have been quite hard for us to grow, so I'm putting slug pellets. Some of you guys might moan about that, but
yeah,
do your research. They're not that bad, are they?
They are the wildlife friendly ones, aren't
yeah, they don't contain that chemical, which is, I think, illegal now in the UK.
So, you know.
And birds can't really get in here, can they?
No.
So, right, should we go do this netting? Yeah, there we go. They look really floppy in there, but they'll perk up, won't they? I'm sure they'll be fine. Oop.
Yeah, that was a fiddly job.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? So it's time to water. So tell us about watering.
Well, it takes a very long time, and it's a lot of watering cans. I think together, when we do it together, it probably takes us about an hour.
Yeah.
But if I do it on my own, it takes about 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah. And yeah, I don't know how, I mean, if you can carry like 2 big watering cans each, so I don't think we've ever really counted. It's got to be over 20 cans each, I would say.
Well, I know how much I do for the corn and the squash, because I tend to do those first because they take the longest.
Yeah.
So you're probably looking at about 10.
Just for those 2?
Yeah.
Just pan you over there. So yeah, the corn is...
But it's looking good, you see, though, because it's getting watered.
Yeah, yeah. And we've got lots of little squash coming, haven't we, as well, which is nice.
So that alone takes 10. And I know that the brassicas and that you've been watering a lot as well, and they take about 8.
Yeah, probably 4 cans for each section, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 4 cans for each.
And then of course these guys, because they're producing lots of nice big pumpkins, they're getting more water now, aren't they? So I said it's what, 3 or 4 on these ones?
Maybe 3.
I think 3.
4. Yeah.
You're doing the melons, because I won't do them because I'm worried about getting in there and getting water over the leaves and stuff. So
yeah, the melons are normally I like 1 can, because obviously there's only 4 plants. But then the other biggie is the polytunnel, and
which I've never done because I'm not allowed.
You're not. No, you're banned from watering in the polytunnel in case you get it wrong.
Yes.
No, I mean, I'm just as bad, so I wouldn't worry. It's just I know what bits of water, and you haven't done it before, have you? So
well, I wouldn't dare touch your precious chilies.
yeah, like the babies, the preciouses. But yeah, I reckon that's probably about 8 cans on if we do like a full water.
And the fig trees, I guess, because they're producing fruit now.
Yeah.
Because normally we wouldn't water them very often, because obviously they're from a hot climate, but because they've got fruit now, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, everything. I mean, like we say, so for one person it takes 2 hours. For 2 of us it takes an hour.
Yeah.
And it's all a case of getting watering cans and going to the water trough, which is up over there. We don't have a hose, we don't have pumps, we don't have anything like that. It's all by hand. And
we've run out of our water storage, but I think we need to update those, because I'm not happy with those storages. Over there, get one of those big, the huge... Big white ones. Yeah, the white ones, yeah. Sheep dip. I can't remember what they're called. I was going to say IBS, it's not IBS. IDC, something like that. You guys know. Look, you can see one there. There's like just the top of the corner. Oh yeah, if I just zoom in. Yeah, see in the middle there, one of those big white ones. Yeah. But yeah, lots of water. So an hour. So let's get cracking then. Yeah. Hi Chase, on this lovely summer's evening. It's nice of you to pay a visit. Someone told me that you are riddled with fleas and they literally saw them jumping off you. So I hope that's not true. Chase is the resident allotment cat, and I know some of you guys have asked this question in the past. Is that cat yours? No, he is not our cat, and he lives in a house nearby. His owner knows that he's up here all the time, and Bev, who is Tilly's neighbour, knows Chase's owner, and they're completely fine with him being up here. They've even said, we're happy if people feed him as well, because I guess it saves money on cat food. We don't feed Chase though, because we've got dogs to feed up here, and hopefully Tor's not going to get fleas now, if Chase has got fleas. I hope he hasn't. I didn't see any, but someone said there were fleas. Right, so today it is Tuesday the 8th of July, and I've been up to a few bits. I've got some more stuff to do this evening, but I want to talk about powdery mildew again. You guys are going, oh, that bloke, he's bloody obsessed with powdery mildew. Last 3 videos, all he's done is talk about powdery mildew. What's wrong with him? So the reason I want to talk about it is because I had to do some work on our courgettes last night. I think the best thing to do is for me to spin the camera around and show you what's going on. So we'll head up here towards the polytunnel, and we'll just make a brief stop here. So these were spare courgette plants that we had, Summer Sun and an Astia. The pots are they're not big enough for them at all, really. So you've got like mini courgettes in here. So they have been producing, but can you see they're absolutely covered in powdery mildew. So the plant is trying to grow new leaves, and there is some fruit there starting to set, but we've not really had much of a harvest off this one or this one since the powdery mildew has kicked in. But it's not really those that I'm worried about, because I think really I might just cut off the dead bits, let them do their thing. But it's these over here. It's these. So if you remember, in this bed again we had 2 Astia, 2 Summer Sun. I'll roll you back to what this bed used to look like. Now I will say now, originally I spaced them way too close together, so I think this didn't help the powdery mildew issue, because when you space plants too close together, obviously disease is going to spread more easily. So now I'll bring you back to the bed how it looks now.
Obviously the 2 Summer Sun have gone. I've pulled them up because quite frankly they were just, I thought they were too far gone really. And we have some strange trees left here. So I was talking to one of our neighbours, a knowledgeable chap who has done a similar thing with his courgettes. He said place 2 bamboo canes in. As you can see, the plant will grow upwards and just support them with the canes. And what I've had to do is take off every leaf that was affected with powdery mildew and just leave the fresh new growth at the top. The other thing I'll show you down here, Fungus Fighter Plus. So we know that the milk and water didn't really have much effect. It didn't do much. So I have resorted to buying this. I'm not sure how well it will do. I mean, you can see like even the stem has powdery mildew. I've given it 2 coats so far, 2 coatings, and we'll just see how these go. Really, courgettes should in theory keep producing fruit until up to the next frost. So, and then the frost will obviously kill the plant off, and if the weather gets colder as well, it's going to stop producing fruit. So you know, I think let's see how this goes. I think that's part of the fun, isn't it, really, with having an allotment, and indeed being, you know, a beginner gardener, is seeing how things work for yourself. You can read things online, you know, old timers up here, veterans, tell us tips, and quite often we go by that with great success. But I think, you know, part of the experience is trying these things for yourself. I wonder if you guys have learned anything from this channel through our mistakes or errors. But I think in the long run, you can say you've done it, you've tried it, this has worked or this hasn't. You've got in-person knowledge, in-person experience that you've tried these things. In other news, the powdery mildew on the pumpkins has cleared up nicely, and that's using that spray, that fungus fighter. So the only one, I've still not coated that plant at the top there. I'm going to do that tonight. That's the only one that's really showing any major signs, but it has held back the tides. I just want to show you this. Look at the size of this pumpkin. Look at this. So this, see from my hand, this is a big old boy. This is one of the warty goblins, and this is one of the zombie pumpkins, as you probably saw from the video intro. Like, look at those warts and nodules. I just love this. It's like a work of art, nature's work of art. Apparently, both of these varieties are really, really tasty when they are roasted, so I can't wait to try those. What's been growing on in the greenhouse? Well, there's been a few changes, minor changes in the greenhouse, but let's jump in and have a look. Do you know what? It's too crowded to get in here with the rig. Over here in the greenhouse, I'm going to show you this. Let's get the camera in. I'm just poking it through the greenhouse door. We have aubergines, so these are Scorpio. They were grafted ones, as you guys probably know. There's one that's ready here, actually. That one probably needs to be picked, but I've got 2 at home that we've not eaten yet. So yeah, I think I'll leave it for a little while, but we're going to have a glut of them soon. Then in the middle we have the F1 female cucumber, and one of them, cheeky little cucumber, has grown behind the grating, so that's going to be fun to pick. It's probably ready as well. And then over here we have the crystal lemon. There is a crystal lemon, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. That one's ready to be picked. I think I'll pick that in just a moment. Now I know it looks like a real mess in here, so you're going to say, why haven't you cut the suckers off and grown them properly? I'm going to do that next year because we are fairly new to growing cucumbers, and I just kind of, you know, again wanted to know from self-experience, doing it myself, seeing how messy these things can get and how much fruit they'll produce. But they've been pretty good so far, to be quite honest. And then over here we have a Mycera pepper. So this went in, I'd say about 2 or 3 days ago in here. Before the Mycera pepper went in, we had a Poland cucumber. Now this one got powdery mildew as well, and it kind of stopped producing fruit. And also we're kind of sick of Poland cucumbers, to be quite honest. Like, we've still got some at home. They're not that nice. I think next year we're just going to stick to the regular cucumbers, and these crystal lemons, they're lovely. So this one's been in here a couple of days now. Again, this was grown from seed, and I've got 2 more of these in the polytunnel. And I think I'm going to have to put the ones in the polytunnel in bigger pots, but at least we've got one in here. And again, it's making use of space, making sure that nothing goes to waste. There's no land left vacant here. So I have just potted up the Cuban black, the baby, the survivor. So I don't know if you guys remember, when I was weeding out the polytunnel some time ago, I came across a tiny seedling, which was this Cuban black. So you can see how much it's grown. Now, I'm particularly pleased about this one, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, because this was my favorite chili, and I tried to overwinter it and it just died. I had zero success overwintering it. So you can imagine my excitement when I came across the seedling, and it's grown into this. It was in this pot, and we've upped the pot size. Water them in nicely. There we go. And this one can head over to the polytunnel. I love the Cuban black, and I'm so pleased that this one survived. I do have some chili still dried out at home, but it's just nice to see it back. It really is. Anyway, let's get him into the polytunnel. So here it is, the Cuban black. Now, I'm not really sure it's going to amount to much. It has got some tiny flower buds forming. It's very late in the game, but as I said before, it's just so lovely to see this plant back. So we're going to put him, where can you go? Because we're quickly running out of room in here, to be honest. I think for now, you're just going to have to go back over here. I'm just so happy that so many of you have followed our channel for so long, and even if it was your first comment on the last video, or leave a comment on this video as well if it's your first comment. We love reading them, and it's so nice to hear so much support, and to hear that many of you have perhaps gone through the same thing, or know people that have gone through the same thing. So anyway, we are due a heat wave in the next few days. Apparently by the end of the week, the temperatures are going to hit 31 degrees outside. So yeah, I know in the UK, we're not used to that sort of heat. I know you guys in America are obviously used to it, and other countries, but to us, that's very hot. So that's gonna be fun. That's a lot of watering. So those 2-hour watering sessions are perhaps gonna happen every day. Anyway, if you like the video, drop it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe. I'm not gonna go through the whole spiel. You guys know it by now. You know how it works. So anyway, take care everyone, and I will see you in the next video.